than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to soar higher than any plane, this amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
On this peaceful island, crowned by the great volcano Mount Monokoa, occurred the mightiest eruption that ever shook the earth, burying the beautiful city beneath it in molten lava and creating destructive tidal waves that raced around the world. For 300 years, this mighty volcano lay dormant. A new and more beautiful city sprang up at its base. But now, after centuries of inactivity, slight tremors are being felt. At the Bureau of Meteorology, a group of scientists watchfully check delicate instruments to determine the seriousness of this renewed activity.
And I want you to send me some real stories. Now, here are your steamship tickets, and here are your press passes. You'll need these down there. Goodbye, good luck, and for Pete's sake, see if you two can work together for a change. Right, Chief.
So long.
That's funny. Say, Lois, do you have my press pass?
What makes you think I've got it?
Sorry, sir, but you'll have to get one down at headquarters.
Thanks. You go on ahead, Lois, and I'll join you later.
Now, what did I do with that?
Poor Clark. Too bad he lost his pass.
And from all indications, we can expect things to start popping at any time. In order to save the city, we've decided to blast the higher rim of the crater, thereby diverting the flow of lava away from the city and into the ocean below.
Is the chief in? I'd like to see him about a press pass.
He'll be back shortly. Won't you have a seat?
Thanks. Wait here. Hello? Hello? Send up that car. Hello? 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 Miss Lane? This way!
Lois!
This looks like a job for Superman. How's the story coming, Lois?
Oh, fine, Clark. Too bad you weren't in on it.
Maybe I would have been, if I hadn't lost my past.
Volcano 1942, an 8-minute Technicolor animated short released on July 10, 1942 by Paramount Pictures, occupies an unparalleled position in animation history as the first animated film based on DC Comics' Superman. Produced by Max Fleischer's Fleischer Studios, who revolutionized hand-drawn animation with films like Betty Boop and Popeye, Volcano 1942 marked the iconic superhero's animation debut. This analysis provides an extensive scholarly examination of this landmark short's historical backdrop, source material and creative influences, groundbreaking animation techniques, narrative style and structure, characterization, themes and symbolism, visual design, critical reception, legacy and impact, technical achievements, and relationship to subsequent Superman shorts and Fleischer Studios' wider filmography. World War II profoundly impacted American society in 1942, which frames Volcano 1942's production context. With resources and manpower diverted towards war efforts, studios struggled meeting theatrical shorts' demand. Narrative and thematic considerations also reflected war anxieties. Superman had become an allegory for hope and perseverance against fascism. Volcano 1942 sits alongside films like Scrap the Japs that mixed entertainment with morale-boosting propaganda. Animation thus played a vital role on the domestic propaganda front. Understanding audiences' mindsets is also essential. Living under mounting conflict and uncertainty, they sought escapist thrills through heroic/disaster movies. Volcano 1942 fused these elements. Furthermore, with over 15 million comic books sold monthly, Superman's popularity exploded, making animation adaptation opportune in an era that celebrated American icons. Animated media's accessibility for all ages likewise attracted government promoters. Hence multiple socio-cultural factors catalyzed Volcano 1942's production and influenced its style. Having secured adaptation rights in 1941, Fleischer Studios worked closely with Superman co-creator Joe Shuster to faithfully transpose his comic creation into animation. This involved negotiating differences between media. Comics' serialized format meant most readers were familiar with characters, enabling greater creative liberty. Animation, however, needed to ensure compact self-containment. Ongoing refinement throughout the short series aligned Superman's on-screen appearance closer to the comic's evolving visual style. Shuster's drawing technique strongly defined Superman's filmic representation. His Art Deco inspirations are evident in the sharp angles of Superman's face, physique, and costume. Fleischer animators captured these stylized elements like the angular chest emblem using rotoscoping techniques. Creative liberties were still taken, like eliminating Superman's red shorts to minimize color clashes. The film also pays tribute through shots directly recreating comic panels compositionally. Overall, Volcano 1942 demonstrates capacious adherence to creatively adapting comics characters and styles. Fleischer Studios were renowned technical innovators, with Superman shorts providing avenues for experimentation. Volcano 1942 exemplifies this through its implementation of the stereo-optical process and rotoscope enhancement. The 3D stereo-optical process used a special camera rig to create depth illusions by separating images for left/right ocular perception. This lent scenes like the volcano eruption greater immersive intensity. Fleischer's patented rotoscope involved hand-tracing live-action film frames onto animation cells, achieving lifelike motion. Rotoscope refinement empowered Volcano 1942's fluidity showcases like aerial sequences. Beyond moving images, Volcano 1942's sound design selectively incorporated sound effects for the eruption and cleanup. Such precise synchronization between image and sound was unusual then. These technical feats illustrate Fleischer Studios' drive to raise animation's production values to compete with live-action features. In many ways, Superman shorts like Volcano 1942 fulfilled animation's long-sought potential as an expressive cinematic art form through innovation. Narrative-wise, Volcano 1942 adheres firmly to comics' brisk episodic storytelling, distilling a disaster drama into 8 minutes using economical visual exposition. The first act establishes Superman heroically saving a ship before a newspaper headline hurdles viewers into the main conflict, volcanic eruption threatening a seaside village. What follows is a textbook escalating three-act structure as Superman first surveys then attempts containing the eruption before finally reversing lava flow by transforming into a human fan via clever utilization of his powers. This breakneck narrative pacing alongside trope reliance like the wise old villager urging folks to flee ground the story in familiar archetypes. While character relationships and backstories remain unexplored, viewers are rewarded with propulsive life and death action. Such compressed narration demands meticulous visual clarity. Volcano 1942 accepts this challenge through skillful shot sequences that never linger too long before punctuating with dramatic reveals like the volcano explosion money shot. It exemplifies concise cinematic storytelling. Thematic analysis reveals Volcano 1942's latent propagation of World War II-era values like patriotism, solidarity, perseverance and indefatigable optimism against encroaching darkness represented by the unremitting volcanic fury. Superman channels audience aspirations for a savior figure to guard the vulnerable home front. His ever-cheery grin against hellish orange lava renders hopes shine figuratively and visually. Notable visual symbolism also manifests through chromatic contrast between crimson lava and blue/white ice backdrop during the climax where Superman freeze-breathes rock into blockade. This color scheme evokes Superman's heroic ideals holding destructive forces at bay. Even his earlier Arctic hideout foreshadows this color duality. Though the film relishes disaster spectacle, Superman's triumph over pyrotechnics encapsulates wartime yearnings for prevailing peace and security. As a canonical entry in the Superman animated short series, Volcano 1942 enjoyed widespread viewership during its theatrical run alongside popular Looney Tunes fare. Contemporary critical appraisals remain challenging to source. However, modern audiences and animation scholars widely acknowledge the significance of Fleischer Studios' Superman shorts. Positive YouTube comments praising its animation finesse indicates continued appeal. Furthermore, the discovery of original production cells and lost footage in 2018 renewed interest, even making headlines as fans were delighted by the chance to view restored scenes. Clearly almost 8 decades since release, there exists considerable fascination regarding these landmark shorts. Their cultural penetration is also evident through homages across media like Disney's The Incredibles' volcano foiling by Frozone, drawing clear inspiration from Superman tropes. As the pioneer Superman animated adaptation, Volcano 1942 bears wider legacy significance alongside artistic merit. It represents how Golden Age animation sought to adopt comic aesthetic. Stylistically and narratively, these shorts also established tropes for live-action Superman screen translations right up till modern blockbusters like Man of Steel, where General Zod's heat vision beams evoke the red torrents of Volcano 1942. Long before big-budget super productions, Fleischer explored characterization ideas later crystallized into canon. Superman's personable rapport with ordinary citizens, evident during his village rescue, humanizes him beyond aloof godhood in line with modern reimaginations. Indeed, the bounds Volcano 1942 is straddled across comic and film forms invites analysis as an intermedial artifact, being both an loving animation encapsulation of comic book art that in turn fed into cinema. It also pioneered melding realist effects like rotoscope into fantasy narratives, a torch carried by Disney milestones like The Little Mermaid, 1989, during the animation renaissance. Clearly, Volcano 1942's echoes pervade animated film history. While each entry in the Superman short series possesses distinct identity, contextualization against other installments provides illumination on the stylistic/thematic arc. Early works like The Mad Scientist established backstory via Dome origin story and characters like Lois Lane. By Volcano 1942, such setup is omitted as characters had familiarized. Visual tweaks like adding more red to Superman's costume design also track comic book evolution. Where the mechanical monsters centered on strange contraptions attacking cities, Volcano 1942 showcases natural disaster, widening themes while retaining thrills. Compared to preceding shorts, effects animation dominates running time here as Fleischer's technical command expanded. Each short aligned closer to realism through advancements like rotoscoping, though stylization still governed aesthetics. Overall, Volcano 1942 epitomizes the steady progress in artistry and sophistication evident as the innovative Superman shorts matured. This exhaustive critical analysis of the landmark Superman short Volcano 1942 reveals the multifaceted cultural, historical and artistic factors enmeshed within its production history and enduring reception. As an intermediate adaptation and wartime animation touchstone, it succeeded on creative fronts through innovations and crystallizing enduring heroic archetypes, while encapsulating comics' hyperkinetic excitement within animated form. Its lasting homages and influence across animation and live-action superhero media further cements its reputation as a pioneering meld of fantasy and exhilarating cinema, both reflecting and shaping popular tastes. More than just another franchise cash grab, Volcano 1942 endures as an animated masterclass.